Good morning, CNC students. Mr. Cavalli here again. So we have a project that I want to do today, and we're going to turn this into a video to show you what I call manual machining, but inside a CNC machine. So our HVAC department has brought us a project they want us to work on. Let me grab that. So this is called a suction filter. And the HVAC department would like to turn this into a display piece. So put all the internal components in, put the caps on the ends, but also be able to see inside. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut a window out of this canister somewhere like this, so you can see all the internals inside. I want to avoid these welds here, and I want to avoid the weld and the shoulder up there, and also this flange piece here is welded. I want to avoid those so I maintain its structural integrity while being able to cut this out and see the internals of how this part works. So let's get our machine powered up, we'll get some tooling, and we'll get started. All right, you can tell now I've got my machine powered up. I got it all zero returned. I've put my part in a vise with some soft jaws on it. And I've also added my tooling, which in this case I'm just going to use a 1/2 inch 3 fluid end mill. Don't know exactly what material this is. Probably bronze or copper of some sort, but I'm really not sure till I cut into it. Maybe these are just bronze sleeves and this is steel, could be. So we're not sure. So we're going to cut into it. We're going to find out. We'll be gentle. I want to notice one thing. I'm going to grab the camera and move it a little closer. One thing I want you to notice, I was a little nervous because you see I'm just grabbing on the bottom with these soft jaws. So I went ahead and put 2 strap clamps in to make sure that my part was pulled down into my vise. So let's take a closer look at that. So you'll notice I did put 2 clamps, one on each end to grab the bottom. This is just a demo, so if this was a customer part, I have to be really careful that I didn't damage those copper ends, the one that's on the left-hand side. Make sure I didn't bend that or something. I'm gonna have to come up with something better. But for this case, a demo, it's not gonna matter. So let's get to machining. So before I machine, I want to set some parameters. I want to, just eyeball, get a good guess of where I'm going to cut this shape out to. So you can tell I position my tool approximately in the back right corner of where I want this pocket to be. And I'm going to use my controller to help me keep track of these numbers. So if I go to my controller, my position screen, let's go into the X. You see the X axis is highlighted. I'm going to hit origin. That sets a 0 for me in the operator page. And then I'm going to go to Y and I'm going to origin. And at this point I don't care about Z, I'm going to do that by hand. But let's take a look at Y and find a number that I want to go to cut out to the front of that. And that number's somewhere right in there. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to use Y 1.5. So let's write that down. So I'm going to go Y negative 1.5 for my 0, 0. And let's find out how far I can move over at X. So X should be able to travel all the way over here, keeping my tool inside those boundaries. 7.7. Tell you what, let's make it 7 inches and 3/4. So I'm going to go X minus 7.750. Okay? So I'm going to start at 0, 0. I'm going to cut down. I'll move over in Y to 1.5, down in X, back into Y0, and back to X. And we should cut out our pocket. Let's see how it works. Okay, so we got it all done. Took us a few minutes. I don't know what that pipe is made out of exactly. We used a 1/2-inch end mill. Had to kind of guess the speeds a little bit for the end mill, kind of listen to our machine as it was cutting and decide if we sped it up or slowed it down from there. But we got all the way through the pipe exactly like we wanted to. So now let's take a close look at what we have inside the machine. Here's our final product. Being machined out, you see we have a nice rectangular shape in there. We can see all the way through. We got a lot of burrs, a lot of stuff we're gonna have to clean up in secondary operations. But for now, this part's done. So I'm headed back in my office now. Got this totally complete. Got it all deburred up, see no sharp edges. Put the assembly back inside. I'm gonna call my HVAC buddies and tell them this part's ready for them. Thanks.